Favourite birds to fly, and I shouldn't have favourites at all. People say if you have favourites, you'll spend more time with one than all the rest, but this one just is my favourite. Because he's been with us since such a young age, and he's come on so well. He's called Clifford, and he's a black kite. Now, people see these red kites in this country, and they see them flying about massive, huge things that can carry off Labradors and children. But it doesn't happen at all. They're only tiny little creatures. And when I bring this out in a second or two, and you see it on that perch there, it is only small. But they look huge in the air because they have what you call a lightly loaded wing, which means they've got a massive, huge wingspan compared to the size of the body. So they do look huge in the air, and it makes them very, very buoyant, so they can get up and soar and glide for hours on end. And this looks fantastic. Now, this is what I want to show you with this black kite today. Not much difference between the red and the black, though. Well, obviously one's red and one's black, but the black kite's a little bit smaller, and it hasn't got as much of a forked tail, so there's not much difference there at all. We'll get him off now. Shouting like mad at me, ready to go. So hopefully it should go quite well. No mishaps this show.
Oh, that's noisy. That's the bird. That's the bird. What? Because he's by the microphone, you can hear him. He's saying, what are you doing? Why are you taking me? Yeah, look.
Sounds like a seagull. Do you not think it sounds like a seagull?
Right, we'll sit him on this perch and just let him get his head around what's going on, because it's quite a scary place here. With lots of people who are quite high above him. It's quite a scary thing for this little bird. So you see him there when he's sat down, he's only a tiny little creature with tiny little feet. So they're not catching Labradors and children. They're going to be catching stuff like insects on the wing, maybe eating a dead rabbit hit by a car on the side of the road, all sorts of stuff like that. They're really a scavenger. They wouldn't really go and catch food for themselves. So if you're catching insects on the wing, you don't want to go off, catch an insect, land with it, go off, catch another one, land with it. It wastes too much energy. You need to eat loads as you're going about. So what this black kite will do is pass the food from his feet to his beak, and this is what I want to show you. I want him to catch 3 bits of food in the air, in a row without stopping. If he does this today, he deserves a big round of applause. He's going to go get the breeze now and get ready for it, and he should fly fantastic today. Once he gets into the breeze underneath his wings, he should get a little bit of height. And we'll start from here. At this point in the show, though, do not look up with your mouths open in amazement. It does go wrong now and again. Where's me gone? Don't say he's gone. He's usually back in, and he's very, very well behaved. I can't see him at all, though. Fantastic. Here we go, look at this. And he doesn't put a foot wrong at all. So he will make his way back in. Here we go. Anytime now. I can see him whizzing about behind that tree. Here we go.
He's up there.
Wheeze you back in here, eh? Don't waste all your energy, you've got some good flying to do. Right, first bit of food in the air. Only on his third bit does he deserve his round of applause, so keep him going. Right, you need to turn now, mate. Here we go. We'll go for quite a nice close one here. Right, one more to do, here we go. We're getting there. Watch as he's going about though, you'll see the food passing from his feet to his beak. Here we go, nice low one. Look at that, I'll give him a round of applause. I'll leave him there a second or two and let him get his breath back, because he's doing quite a bit of flying and I've got quite a bit to do with him as well. You alright there, Sarah? Right. So, they won't just be catching insects on the wing, they couldn't really live off that. So they worked out that people have food as well. And they were all one of the most commonly spread bird of prey in the world, these black kites, throughout India, Africa, throughout Europe, all over the place they are. Now around the streets of India, they're all around the skies, there's hundreds of them in the sky, and then going about nicking your Greggs pasty off your tray, maybe your sausage roll out your fingertips or something like that. I don't know if they have a Greggs in India, imagination a little bit. So imagine there's hundreds of these black kites in the skies. Now I've got my Greggs pasty. Get going, Clifford, good lad. And you're walking about like this, and straight away from nowhere, they nick it straight from underneath your nose when he comes back into the area. Watch very closely. They use their feet for this, and they're very, very accurate. Look at that, give me a round of applause, well done. You can go one step further as well. I hate this bit. They've been known to take it out of people's fingertips. Once he turns round here, he's finding it quite hard to fly with the castle being in the way. enjoying himself a little bit too much, I think, over there. He will make his way back over though, he's very well behaved. I've never had this bird, only once have I had this bird fly off. 2? Twice? As he went down the castle. Jesus. Here we go, look at this. Oh, if this is my finger, look at that, give him a round of applause. I was figuring for my finger end there a little bit. Can we have you back on here, please? Good lad, well done. This next bit in the show is about this morning, so I'm not going to go over the top with him. I'm going to give him a bit of an easy day. That is not like a wild van or a combo van. We're going to get him back into the middle here, and if he sits back down here, then we can start doing a bit of work with him. Oh, he's a little bit confused right now because he thinks I'm in that little black box behind him. His hearing's fantastic, but his eyesight is rubbish. He can't work out that I'm in the middle. I'm there, I'm over here. In the middle. One, two, right. We'll sit him back on there and let him get his bearings a little bit, and then we'll get a nice bit of flying out of him. What I want to show you with this owl is not him just sat on the perch there looking cute. We need him to go and do some work, and he can fly fantastic, and Bramley can as well. The wind has died down a little bit now, which is probably perfect for him, because on a windy day he has got about as much style as a carrier bag. He's moving about all over the place. He's only very light. So we'll get him up and moving, and we should see some nice flying out of him. And what they'll do is they'll circle and quarter an area. Not landing on the deep left driver. Circle and quarter an area looking for like a wild mouse or vole. Now this looks fantastic, but when they're looking for this wild mouse or vole, they're not using their eyes, they're using their ears, because the hearing is fantastic. They reckon they can hear a mouse's heartbeat from about 10 metres away. So it's pretty good goal. It's all because of that round facial disc. It looks like he's hit a brick wall quite fast. His face is very flat and it channels all the sound into his ears. So his eyesight is pretty rubbish though. Oh, now he crashed into the window. We can give someone a go with him as well, because he's only quite small and he doesn't usually bite. So someone quite small who wants a go. You there, you have a go. There we go. Right, put your left arm in there. Put your arm over that wall there. And he should be alright, this should be quite a nice one. We can try and knock him off his dad's shoulders. Look at that. Give this lad a round of applause. He's not the best one for stroking him. It's like if I stroke you on the edge, you'd be ready to fight me, and he's the same as that. She was in a horrible state. She's raring to go today though.
On my arm, yeah.
All these feathers down here are cut off down the edge, all snapped off. And her feet are in a real bad way as well. Get back on that person if you're raring to go. Good girl. So the first year was just getting it to look half decent, it looked like a vulture. Then the next, we've had it 4 years now, the next 2 years we just spent bringing her out in front of people and just getting her used to you guys, getting her on the floor like this and bringing her right close to you, just so she get a bit used to you. Is anyone scared of birds here? We'll see. But she's not that confident. It's over here, look. Well done. But we need this bird to look like a wild vulture, not just hopping about the floor and looking daft. And that's what people think these vultures do. As funny as it is, she can fly fantastic. And they can fly a bit like that black kite. They'll go up in the thermals and soar and glide for hours on end, and this is what we need to show you today. All we used to do with her in the display was jump her from that perch to this perch. We're going to start doing a little bit with her just now, just to start her off and get her in the mood to do a bit of flying, and then we'll start doing something a bit different with her. Just to there, please. Girl. She's not the prettiest of birds, as you can probably see, but she's called a turkey vulture. Oh, this is brilliant, this. Woman shouted out in the show. Is that a cross between a turkey and a vulture? No. Not a weird little experiment we've been doing down the farm. It's called a turkey vulture because it looks like a turkey, and it is a vulture. Right, so we need to get this vulture up in the air. We need to first her into the breeze and get her going. I need to say, I've got no food for you, so you need to fly, do some flying for me to put my hand in the bag. So I open my arms out like this, we should get a rouse, which is like a realigning of the feathers. in a second or two. Or not. Here we go. That is not what we want. Let's move this a little bit to a different angle. There we go. Don't be messing about today. Take her out to some places, and because she's a little bit scared of people, and it's all a little bit too much for her, she'll come out on a sunny day and start sunbathing on the T-perch, and you can't get her to do anything at all. And some days she'll fly fantastic. If she does this circuit today, I want 2 out of her at the most. If she's going well, maybe 3. If she does it today, it'll be the 11th time she's ever done it in a show, so she's only just learning, really. But it's taken us 4 years to get her where she is. Right, we need to pull this out of the bag, Myrtle. There's that rouse, where they've realigned all the feathers. She's saying, right, I'm ready to go. Let's get going. You've got about 5 seconds before I throw you. We really need you facing that way. If she wants to take off this way, I'm going to let her. Don't encourage her. We'll give her a couple of chances at this. If she doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to push her to do it. Because if she keeps landing on the floor, I don't want to feed her for that. It'll just cause bad habits. I don't want to feed her for doing her circuits that she has to do. And this is the first time this year in Ripley Castle, is where she did it for the first time. She went right up round the back of that tree and in through this gap. She looked fantastic. So I wanted her to do that and just chuck her up. Now, a good girl and back on the perch. Myrtle. I think we're going to get it in a second or two. You can see she wants to do it and she's setting herself up for the flight. She's looking at all the angles which she can go and which way is the best way not to crash and all sorts like that. The bit of an... She's a funny little creature, she is. A right little character to her as well, and she's come out of her shell so much. The thing is, she'll fly fantastic at home, but you bring her to... Don't clap her for that. You bring her to a display like this and she just loses a bottle. She's like, no, I can't do this. And she'll sulk off like this. But if you go chase her, she'll usually walk away from you. Oh no, she's been very good today. I'm going to give 2 more chances at it. If she doesn't do it, I'm not going to push her. Let's try. Right, you can go that way if you want. They're a bit of a funny thing, these turkey vultures. When you look at them really close, they have a hole right through the nose, and that's because they have a sense of smell, not for us to put a ring through. They can reckon these things can smell a rotting carcass from about 15 kilometres away. So that's pretty good going. That's probably like the kebab shop in Ripon now, it's smelling. So you've got to imagine these things as it's going about, and that's how it'll find these rotting carcasses and stuff like that. They're quite a weird little thing, because all the in the bird of prey world, the female is usually bigger than the male, and the male, here we go. Yeah, good girl. It's only a simple one, but give her a round of applause. It took some getting. Can you try for one more? Yeah. One more, Myrtle, and that'll do you today. We'll fly something that's half decent. Species of falcon in the bird. Females are quite big, weighing about 3 pounds 2 ounces. Fairly big things for a falcon. Now they're very similar to like a peregrine falcon in this country. But where the peregrine's made for that 200-mile-an-hour stoop, the eagles are made for 60 miles an hour in a straight line. They're a very muscly, big, strong version of a peregrine. I can bring them quite close to a few here. And don't worry, I'll pick on you all. Now we used out through the Middle East these things, and I love them over there. They're a bit like a statement of your wealth, these falcons. If you have a pure white one, you're doing really well. You've got hundreds of wives, you've got oil rigs, the bang lot. If you've got a kestrel, you've got like a camel in a tent, and that's the way it works over there. But he's very, very quick. We've had him go under benches, through gazebos, beer tents, all sorts of stuff like that. Very, very agile. We've not had him hit anyone yet. So duck and dive out of the way a little bit. Should be quite a nice close one for you guys. And today we'll be reaching speeds of about 60, 70 miles an hour. And these things in the stoop, I reckon they could do about 120, which is still good going.